Hello, friends. My name is Ismail Shahtakhtinski. I'm the principal immigration attorney at ISLAW firm. Today is a beautiful January day in Washington, D.C., and on the way from the United States Citizenship and Immigration Office, I want to talk to you about where to start if you want to immigrate into the United States. Part of what we do as immigration lawyers consists of um, spending a lot of time consulting clients on the specific methods of immigration into the United States, how one can immigrate into the US, what they can do, and what they should start with. And most of the time, it's about specific categories of immigration, specific methods. So the person who's scheduling the consultation, they usually do homework. They look at publicly available information to see which methods exist, and then they narrow down their research, their questions to specific methods, and that's when they schedule a consultation, and that's a more effective way of doing it. But sometimes we get clients who contact us, schedule a consultation, and they start, they don't have any idea about the methods of immigration to the US or what can work for them or what may be suitable for them. Then they start with general question of how I can immigrate into the United States. Of course, there is nothing wrong with this question, but it's not the most effective way of using your time, the time that you have booked your immigration attorney for this consultation. It's not the most effective way to get answers to your questions, because if you ask this question, we may be spending a lot of time talking about the different methods of immigrating into the United States, which have nothing to do with you, which are not, are not never going to work for you. So that's not the best way. So the best way is to do some homework, to review the information publicly available. For example, on the website, you can, for example, review the information about various methods of immigration into the United States on our firm's website, islawfirm.com, or other publicly available information. Or you can go to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services and look through different categories, and then narrow down your research before you schedule a consultation. So sometimes when there is a consultation, when the client asks generally how I can immigrate into the US, I start my answer with asking a question back. I ask them, what is your plan? Let's say you do have a permanent residence in the US, you're now in the US, what are you going to do? And, if they say, I'm going to look for jobs, well, maybe that's where you should start from. So let's talk about employment-based immigration into the US, employment-based visas, employment-based permanent residency. Or they say, well, I want to come and study and continue my education. Then let's talk about student visas. Or let's talk about studying in the US, what type of study program you're looking for. Depending on that, then there are categories of immigration into the US. Or if they say, I want to start my own business in the United States, then I go on and talk to them about the methods of immigrating into the US through business. From starting your own business, or investing in existing business, or opening a branch office or affiliate of existing business that you own abroad. Whether it's a small business or large business, doesn't matter. So there are various categories of different ways of immigrating into the US. So I usually recommend to at least narrow down your research before scheduling a consultation to at least to those categories. And I'm not talking about specific methods of immigration, but at least categories. So, what are those categories? I usually divide, I can say that the immigration methods can be ways to immigrate into the United States can be divided into various categories, broader categories. For example, one of the categories is family reunification. So, immigration through relatives. So if you have relatives in the U.S. and you're considering possibilities of immigrating into the U.S. through this relatives, then maybe that's worth to talk about those different categories and so on. There are methods of immigrating into the U.S. through job. If you have an employer, or if you have a job, or if you are looking for employment in the U.S., then it may be worth to narrow down the questions as to those employment-based visas or permanent residency. And there are various types of visas through employment for all kinds of levels of employment, whether it's a skilled worker or whether it's just farm worker or whether it's a, you know, a talented somebody who's a scientist or accountant or specialty occupations. So there are different categories, there are different employment visas and so on. Then, if you want to start your own business, there is small business, there is investing in the business and opening your own business or opening a branch office or affiliate office in the U.S. Then there is, immigration through extraordinary abilities or talent. Some people call it talent visas. So, for example, if you have exceptional or extraordinary or outstanding abilities within your field of employment or your endeavor, then you can consider those options. There's nothing wrong with considering a lot more different options, but at least start with those that are more likely to be suitable for you. You don't want to spend your half of your consultation talking about visas for religious workers or visas for journalists if you're not a journalist or religious worker, or talk about employment-based visa if you're not actively searching for job in the United States. Now, one of the frequently asked questions during the consultations is, well, not the questions, the answers to my question as to what would you do if you were in the U.S. Let's say, imagine you have a green card, you're in the U.S., and what's next. I sometimes get answer from consultees saying, I want to move to the U.S. and I'll see what happens. Or that, I heard there are public benefits, some social benefits, and so on. Well, I'll tell you this up front, that the United States, different from many other countries, including countries from Europe and even Canada, has a lot lesser scope of benefits, social benefits, and so on that you can apply for, at least until you become a U.S. citizen. Then there are some benefits that are available, but even then, they're limited. You're not gonna achieve an American dream. You're not gonna live a comfortable life in the U.S. if you're hoping for those benefits, social support, food stamps or free housing and so on. Yeah, I mean, you can, get in some states those things even if you are a non-citizen, but you're not gonna, again, you're not even gonna move towards the American dream. Not even talking about achieving it. So if you're considering that, don't. My suggestion is, don't even waste your money for the consultation if you're looking for those benefits. I don't want to discourage anyone. The United States does have some social benefits and support, but that's not why you should immigrate into the United States. So again, before you consult, before you spend your time and money to consult with an immigration lawyer, my suggestion is to do some homework, to do some research, free research online, look through the different categories and different methods of immigrating into the United States, and narrow down your research to specific questions that you want to ask so that you can spend that time as effectively as possible. And if you do have questions, even if it's a broader question or specific question, feel free to contact us. Our information is going to be in the comments. You can either text us. There is a phone number there. You can call us, text us. You can email us, and you will receive the information with a link on how to schedule a consultation. And then you can schedule a consultation with me, or you can schedule a consultation with one of our other attorneys. And the consultations are done online or by phone, so it can be Zoom consultation, it can be phone consultation. And yeah, we'll be glad to help you, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe to our channel for a lot more of the useful information. Thank you. Bye-bye.